Right, this is just an update of what has happened since yesterday. I made a quick live stream. The live stream cut out. What happened at the end of the last live stream? Crying and distressed. I went from being numb to crying. There's a little message in the description because there's a little message again, because I'm not gonna shut up about it. In fact, I'm going to carry on. A message for Police Abusing Powers Independent Advice Network, trolls, troublemakers, whatnot. I will keep speaking my truth till my dying breath. You are all, each and every one of you, including myself, and you can literally shove your legal threats right up your arse because you are disgusting. You are disgusting. I have attempted suicide in this room before. I haven't. Tina Chave of the Independent Advice Network. And I've got evidence of it. And I've got evidence of you speaking on the live phone-in on Dan's channel, offering me help. And then you rang me, or I rang you. I can't remember. You gave your contact details and I contacted you because my mobile number is not out there. But trolls have somehow... This is what you meant to help me with. Back in April, it's now the 29th of August. You told me to ring you back. You were going to do all these things for me. I rang you in distress during a live stream because my partner had just been abusive to me. I self-funded hotels for 8 or 9 months. 8 months it was, yeah, from October last year. And now I'm in a stranger's home. And now my partner has been. He suggested he take the caring role through Care for the Carers because they were not helping me. I had been in supported accommodation. I explained this to you. And what do? You get Dan to come and threaten me in the comments section under my channel. You are disgusting. You are disgusting. And you know it. You are as disgusting as the trolls from Police Abusing Powers. You are disgusting as that Scott who emailed Dan on my behalf. I have been contacting the House of Commons. No, because it's on YouTube that Lucy from my local MP office said that they had someone ringing them, the House of Commons, threatening or being abusive. Not too different to me being bullied in the live chat on Police Abusing Powers when Tina Chave was present. So she has gone and got the Independent Advice Network, and I'm not going to read the email. I can't. The internet connection here is so government ombudsman either. But it just says warning. The Independent Advice Network, a company trading in Ireland. I was told by Citizens Advice that it's not the Department of Health, it's trading standards that you need to report them to. So anyway, without further ado, here are the keys that my partner, you couldn't see last night because the live stream cut out because of the connection. But my partner was arrested last night. He gave these keys. Yeah. The 999 call handler that you can hear in my live stream, because I've played it in the live stream. She's terminating the call saying, what are you doing with him? How do you know you've got permission to be there? Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. That's a 999 response to my partner assaulting me. But then he assaulted me again at 2:40 a.m. in the morning, though. I get someone coming out to me because someone on YouTube has said Bryony's suicidal on YouTube or something or other. She's live streaming. She's suicidal. Who cares? The damage has been done. It's been done. I'm 40. I'm homeless. And DC Camar to go and just sort myself out. So my partner's been released with a caution, even though he finally gave me the keys. Maybe he's watching this now. Well, it's not going to be much good to me now, is it? Timpson new set of keys. Because if this lady is coming back from Nigeria in a few days, I've still got nowhere to go. Because I've been attacked in my council accommodation, a place that Tina Chave said that by law I shouldn't be there. The TRESSELL Trust Food Bank, the people who got me on severe disability, premium, you know, and Tina's saying, oh, because this corrupt system tried to stitch me up. I'm an extremely law-abiding, decent citizen who's completely clean. I'm suffering from trauma. I lost my mother to cancer. It's really quite simple. And the TRESSELL Trust, Illuminati-based charity, because that's what the TRESSELL Trust is. Look it up. Look it up on, there's a website. They're talking all about it. And the links, the darkness behind the food bank. I mean, my God, wasn't it enough for you guys? How brainwashed are people in this country to even normalise going to food banks, working families, when illegal immigrants are coming in here by the thousands and you per day to put them up in hotels that are being closed down. A hotel that was closed down, I stabbed myself through the arm with a 6-inch knife. Now, my elder sister is a landlady. They've got about 3 houses between them. I wouldn't go to my sister if my life depended on it. And I've slept rough because I'm not going to put up with narcissistic bullying. She's a tyrant. She scares people. She's the opposite of me. I am what you would call super empath. She's the opposite. She's been the cause of generational curses, generational abuse from grandparent to child, and then back onto me. My adoptive grandmother witnessed it. That is the trauma I'm putting up with. I needed help with my sisters, one of whom has had a sex change. And I believe that St. Mary's House, rather than dragging me in there in handcuffs like the demented, deluded, brainwashed order followers that they are, and me putting up a protest, and me then saying, and because I put up a protest, they said, we think you need injections. That's what this Dr. Baginski said. And my lead practitioner, Rian Tucker, looking down like this. And a whole room full of them. We can't help you unless you take injections. I've never taken injections. I've had a forcible injection against my will, which sedates hellholes. And that's a hangable offence under Nuremberg trials. How do I know that? Because I met John Alexander Patterson, the ex-RAF fraud investigator that the Ministry of Defence was trying to set up on a mental health fraud. I will speak my I will speak my truth until my dying breath. If you lot want to carry on being cowards, whoever you are, Dan, Tina, whatever, threatening people, threatening vulnerable, genuinely vulnerable people after falsely offering them help. You carry on. You do that. You do that. Come on. What is it? Jealousy or something? I mean, I emailed you the picture of this. Bitterness. My careers advisor got me this. And in the same way as me not knowing how to pay bills or manage it, because I've never lived on my own, because I had an emotional attachment to my late mother, why is it that it's only the Americans that talk about this stuff? Why is it that in this country we've got human trafficking, corruption? It feeds the corruption. That's why drugs, alcohol, all the stuff that I don't take because I'm clean. And they don't like me because I'm clean, because I'm articulate. Yes. Got me this. So in the same way that I've never known how to manage a tenancy and bills and all of those things, I didn't know how to get qualifications. But as you can see in this article, or maybe you can't see it, I got GNVQ intermediate in care and crappy NVQ, which is a load of rubbish in itself, the NVQ thing. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I still don't, but I'm 40. And I've had 6 years go down the drain. The last 6 years, I've been asking for help for 17 years since I moved to Eastbourne. Since my late mother sold the house, I was meant to get subsidies put up with 16 to 16-year-olds and people in their early 20s, young people who'd been kicked out by not just parents but grandparents because, well, that's New Haven for you. My middle sister had a culture shock. She went from lady, grammar school, Buckinghamshire, to what my mother described as fishwife in New Haven. You know, middle class. We moved down here to get away from my father. I was just 4 years old. And I didn't know until my 30s that I was suffering from trauma. Something that Sussex Police has contributed to for the last 6 years. So just read the description below, if you don't understand what I'm saying. If it's easier for you to read, do that by all means. Do that new age bullshit thing of leave it in the past. Leave it in the past, Bryony. That was in the past. You're all programmed to say this stuff. I will just keep repeating. And you can keep saying we're going round in circles. If I had a magic wand hanging up, you can keep doing all that bullshit. We're going round in circles. Hang up. Magic wand. Anyone who thinks for themselves doesn't use a phrase like that. I'm sorry, but you don't. If you've got your own mind, if you can think for yourself, you won't repeat what all these operatives are saying. But unfortunately, Steve Churchill from the FOODBANK did that. And you can hear it because it's on YouTube. And then I burst into tears afterwards. You saw it for yourself. Labeled the live chat and the comments because of idiots, because people are not who they say they are, and a lot of people can't be trusted. But there we go. That's the long and short of it. My partner has been released with a caution, and the local MP gave him a caring role through the Care for the Carers. And I'm an intelligent woman. But at the time, I didn't have a choice. I had to go along with this bullshit because I didn't have a choice. Because they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't pull their fingers out. I have sat with people at St Mary's House with clipboards for the past 17 years, since 2005, is it? Yes, since 2006 that I've been living in Eastbourne. People huffing and puffing. Moved to Eastbourne under supported accommodation, under adult social care. Looking at each other, rolling their eyes. This is what I've had to put up with. This is what I have had to put up with. My mother then got cancer and I was in supported accommodation. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't know I had OCD. It's still undiagnosed, by the way. But Leslie, the FOODBANK advocate, the people who put me on severe disability a few years ago, she said I've got OCD. I didn't know this, but I've had 17 years of it. It's on the NHS website. Hoarding and clutter. It's really quite simple. But I've sat with idiots that are either stupid or they're doing it deliberately because that's what they've been told to do. They're higher ups, they're order followers. I don't understand what it is you're asking for help with. Well, I need help with hoarding and clutter. I lost my mother to cancer. I had an acute attachment to her. It's related to bereavement, but I don't understand what it is you're asking for help with. Yeah, that's what I put up with. So in the end, what do you do? If no one's going to do anything and you're on your own, and you're drowning in despair, what the hell are you going to do? DC Camar, he doesn't want to hear about the corruption or anything. He got annoyed that I hadn't opened a text message. Why? Because I'd been lying here sleeping, crippled by anxiety attacks because of what the police have done to me. But all he wanted to let me know is that my partner's been released from custody with a caution. I've got the keys, but I'm not going to be here for a few days because in a few days, the owner of this flat is coming back from Nigeria. I'm suicidal because of these idiots and I don't know where to go. But if I come over here in a dinghy, I'll get treated like a queen. Illegally come over here as an illegal immigrant claiming asylum under the corruption through racketeering. They'll put me up in a hotel. They'll pay for it. Oh, yeah. Papers, please. Yeah, just tell them that you're an asylum seeker. Bosh. Then you get the help. I'll play it again. I'll keep playing it. I'll keep playing it till it gets into your... Because there's nothing of a lot of these idiots watching my videos. Sorry, there are good people. I'm sure there are some very decent people watching my videos. I know that there are. But there are also a lot of stupid people out there. Lonely people who've got nothing better to do. And some of them have got children. I don't have children, thank goodness. This is not satisfactory. I'm just going to look for that recording again and I will play it. So when I call 999, just want this to get into your heads. I call 999 at 3 a.m, terrified for my life. I'm too afraid to go back to the county in a place that they knew was dangerous. I recorded people at the Riverbourne house. Well, one person in particular saying that place, an old lady, said that place has got a bad reputation. She was helping me. When I was on the phone to the police, when these men ran out of the property, I didn't know that there were men in the property with balaclavas on. The Riverbourne house is the building that my lady witness friend is a visitor to. Her friend has got Parkinson's. Her friend gave me no offense to her friend. Her friend is an ex-occupational therapist. You couldn't make this up. You couldn't make this up. This is why my mother wanted to stay at sea. She couldn't stand what people are like in this country, what you lot in the UK are putting up with. And this old lady is saying, well, I'm on the phone I've got it recorded. And she's looking out of the window and she's saying Willowfield Road. And I'm like, thank you. I've got it recorded. And the police are just these stupid female officers, police constables. I say constable because it makes them liable under common law. They turn up. Oh, we'll take a statement from you. They never took a statement. It took months to get that drunk that assaulted me in front of the CCTV board. It took months to get her out of there. They changed the locks while I was at the Cavendish Hotel last year. And I was at the Cavendish Hotel again. I was self-funding with thousands of pounds of severe disability. And Tina Chave from the Independent Advice Network said I shouldn't be doing this. And what is she doing along with Dan from Police Abusing Powers YouTube channel, threatening me because I'm speaking about it on my channel. Get a damn life. You cowards, you corrupt cowards. How I haven't jumped on. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. But when I think that I'm close to jumping off those cliffs, I buy alcohol. I've done that. I've wasted money on alcohol to get Dutch courage to lob myself off the cliffs. And as I said, the TRESSELL Trust, Eastbourne Food Bank, ignored an on Survivors of the Saffron Facebook page where they're saying that disabled people are being bullied by management. And that was in 2015. That was 7 years ago. A year later, I was in there and I had the same treatment. But no, none of you do anything. None of you get off your backs sides. Alison, there's a woman called, is it Alison Hopkins? She reminds me of my mother. She has supported Jeanette Archer. She stood outside the where they were doing that transgender stories for small children. And this Alison, she said basically what my mother would say, where are all the other people? Where are all the other parents speaking out? It reminds me, because that is similar to what my mother did in my Catholic church. When on the quiet, the PTA wanted to get rid of my perverted headmaster, complaining about him because he was cruel, perverted, and just plain weird. And well, that's a Catholic primary school for you. But my mother was the only brave person to speak out in the Catholic church, my Catholic church. I was about 12 years old and he was getting an appraisal. And I sunk down in the pew and my mum was like, they were all like, oh, yes, isn't it wonderful? And she said, no, rubbish. She got up. That man has done nothing but blah, 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 blah. And obviously, as a typical 12-year-old, I sunk down into the pew and I was like, oh my gosh. She says, I had that passion that I have to this day for speaking the truth. I was proud that she was my mother. And on the quiet, people came up to her and said, you should get a medal for what you've done. Yeah, but it's you cowards, the ones I've just mentioned here and there, you all just talk. You all just talk. And how dare you, Tina Chave, say that I am brave after offering me all that help, then police abusing powers, then threatening me with legal action because I'm talking about it on here, despite the fact that I've attempted suicide in here and been up to Beachy Head suicidal. You are disgusting. You are a coward. You've got the nerve to tell me that I'm brave. Even Dan said that. Yes, I am incredibly brave. I'd say it's more a case of survival. And you're not Andy Devine. I swear on my life. I don't swear on my life. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to swear on a person's life. But I swear, I'm so angry because I admit that I'm extremely vulnerable, but I don't suffer fools gladly. No, I do not. And I will speak my truth to the death. Same with Steve Churchill, who's my partner's friend at the food bank, who prayed for me. For God's sake. Oh, in the name of Yahweh, our Elohim. You want to pray, but you're saying my life's not in danger? I've been the idiot who gave me the keys to that council accommodation where I've been attacked and had my bedroom window smashed. And one time I thought I was going to be killed. That's the only reason why I'm here. Hello there. That's the only reason why I'm here. Because I was going to be killed in my council accommodation several times. It's a miracle that I'm still here at all talking to you. The number of times I've attempted suicide, I thought I was going to be killed by this demented degenerate. Several of them, but particularly the first one. It was like a seer. She'd bashed holes in the bathroom door while I was in the bath. And the same people who turned up, police, were the same ones who beat me on Beachy Head. And one of them, the thug, the dangerous thug, PC Austin, injured my wrist, saying the Home Office train us to do that. And he did it in my partner's flat. Funnily enough, when I jumped out of, makes you wonder, doesn't it? And he found it amusing. And during a welfare check on Beachy Head, they put it in the paper illegally, because the Herald didn't want to, it's funny that the Herald didn't want to hear what I had to say, the truth about what the police did to me in 2018 during a welfare check, dragging me backwards in handcuffs and pushing and shoving me. Dear, to put your details in the Herald because you're vulnerable. Oh, but last year they beat me on the end of 2020. They beat me on Beachy Head, stripped me naked, sectioned me where I was assaulted by nursing assistants, then trafficked me onto that dangerous property at Belmore Road. And then last summer put it in the Herald that I beat them. How do I know that? Because Steve at number 10 told me. He opened his window and he said, "Oh, did you know that you've been the police?" I said, "No." He said, oh, they're bastards. I was going to get a gun and kill them, because, you know, he's a bit rough and ready. But he was speaking on my behalf. This Steve, the old guy with a beard, I was going to tell them, you know, and they put my name, my age, and where I live. So what's the difference? What's the difference whether I say it on YouTube or not? And then I was trafficked from the hospital to that dangerous accommodation, and the same thugs who beat me on Beachy Head found it oh so amusing. You tell me. Beat me up. I told DC Camar that a little while ago, that detective that turned up. They're doing this to an extremely vulnerable middle class, extremely law-abiding citizen. I'm the kind of person who complains about smoking in bus shelters, for crying out loud. I'm the kind of person who complains about cycling on the pavement. There's so much illegal cycling on the pavement, but they still do it. They're doing this to decent, law-abiding citizens.
Hello. Hello there.
Hang on a minute. I am going to play that recording of the licensee threatening to beat me up. If I can find it. I'm going to play it because I want it documented in this live stream. Because I'm so sickened by it all. Because it will all be in the same. Right.
Hello there.
No, it's not that one. Right, this, it looks like I even rang the police before it happened. Yes, I rang the police before this woman threatened to beat me senseless. Recorded them saying that my life is not in danger, even though a half-naked drunk man has come into my room, because a nurse up the road and her husband took me in one night because they know about the property. They all know about this property. This was the 29th of April at last year at 2 in the morning.
Hello there. I've got a crime reference number. Yes, I can take that from you. Yeah, it's 4721 006 333 6. Yeah, it's 12 Bell. It was around 1:20 a.m. It was 1:20 a.m. that I made the call to 999. What, did you talk about today or when it happened? Yeah, this morning. Yeah. Sorry, I'm keeping my voice down because the intimidation is continuing. Okay, bear with me a second. I just need to call a little while ago, didn't you? About 5 minutes ago. Let me have a look at that report. The number you give me relates to an earlier one. Yeah. I've got a different one for you now. Just bear with me a second. Let me look at that.
Hang on a minute.
So who's this? The crime reference. Yeah. No, I'm talking about. But if you're talking about someone you live with, you're talking about. Yes. Who is it you? Right. You know the crime reference number is about the one that I gave. Happened before, yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
when I made it to the issue.
Let me just explain. This police recording phone call was made at 2:11 in the early hours of 2:11 on the 29th of April last year. I'm speaking, the recording is 45 minutes. And in this recording, I'm trying to fast forward to a bit where they're saying that basically you're not in danger, but it's 45 minutes long. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, so you had it was 1:20. I'm picking you in. Help here. Door for me. This constantly. Can I just ask this? This is part. This will be under the same crime reference. Is that correct? No, because I don't think anything's been done to you this evening. I think there's someone you share the property with who's not going around. They're being a bit noisy, and it sounds like you accidentally walked into your room. But I don't think there is anything. So no, it's not going to be added to the report. I don't think it does need to be added though, because you've not been able to explain to me how she's intimidated. She said she's got a station. But this isn't harassment. This is her somebody round. No, but when I it's not being directed to you. It's not harassment. It is being directed at me. She did it earlier this evening. She's constantly.
The 101 call handler is saying it's not harassment. It's 2:11 in the morning, and it's a 45-minute phone call. I'm not going to play all of it. On the 29th of April, this police protected criminal, Carly Bishop, on a tag is threatening me, banging on my door. A half-naked drunk man bangs on the door and tries to come in. The following call after that is the one where she's threatening to beat me senseless while I'm locked in the bathroom. And the 999 call handler is saying he can hear it. Then 3 hours later at 6 a.m., I was arrested on a paperwork. The CPS threw it out that I never received court papers. Why? Because I had been self-funding hotels, Eastbourne hotels, for my safety, because I was attacked at Elms Avenue. Caroline Ansell, the local MP, one of her caseworkers told me, and the member of the public who's been helping me, Juliet, who was attacked in the street by drunks trying to help me, that MP caseworker told me and my lady witness they get complaints like this all the time, and I've got damning evidence of council meeting minutes, which I uploaded to my channel. Payers are paying millions per day to put up illegal immigrants who are coming in by the masses. Your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children have not got a future. Because the more you put up with this, you are the problem.
Making me feel uncomfortable, which I do try to ignore, and I don't say anything. But what you just explained to me, it won't be added because I don't believe it is harassment.
I don't believe it is called the police protected criminal on a tag threatening to beat me up in my shared council accommodation.
An unfortunate occurrence. No, I don't mean the man. I mean after this man tried to enter my room, she said something about me. They would have a conversation about it. You take that with She's intimidating me all the time. She's intimidating me all the time. I'm not saying she has the passport on this occasion. I had it earlier this. It is a police. I'm sorry, Bryony. No, please.
I'm sorry, Bryony. Wait for it. We're going to get a 101 call handler hanging up on me before this demented, raging alcoholic on a tag threatens to beat me up. PC Scott Franklin Lester arrests me on a fraud. That's the same PC Scott Franklin Lester Sr. that Caroline Stevens, the truther, seems to know something about.
Please do not. Can I? No, this is part of it. This is part of the ongoing. No, it is. Do not disagree with me. This is on. It will be on CCTV. This is part of the investigation. You can't not take
the CCTV that I fought to get.
You can't not take this seriously. This is ongoing. Earlier this evening, she was intimidating me. I'm doing what? And that I didn't report it because I'm trying to function. I have explained to you. I have it. How have I not explained?
This is a 45-minute phone call to 101. This dictaphone is full to the brim of corruption, phone calls, liars, everything. Me being attacked, you name it. It's all on here. It's extremely incriminating. So it's rather interesting that Sergeant Simmons told me to purchase one to record antisocial behaviour, and then I was arrested for doing it. And it's interesting that this criminal on a tag, he talked to her like she's a baby, even though she's got grown-up children. She'd follow me around into the toilets, calling me an effing nutbag. It's people like me, decent, middle-class, law-abiding citizens that end up. Yeah, well, there are a lot of people who are on a fast track to hell. I'm telling you that now.
Well, I'm fed up with this game playing because it couldn't be any more crystal clear. Yes, I have. I've recorded some of it. And it's ongoing. Earlier this evening, she intimidated me. I know what? I can't remember her exact. If I try and remember, this is the difficulty, isn't it? You can't remember what. Because
it's a bit difficult, really, isn't it? You can't remember it. They're just trained to argue that they're sleepers. They're sleepers, and they don't even know it.
Going. She calls me a dosser, you effing dosser, and all. Did she do that tonight? Yes, it was words to the effect of earlier this evening. But I'm jotting, I'm making notes, and I'm reporting as much as I can. But then
I'm jotting and making notes, even though I'm on severe disability. I bought a panic alarm because this nutcase is following me into the toilet. I've got it recorded that the nutcase from A&A Contractors, who gave me the keys to the place and said he's walked in on dead bodies, recorded calling me an effing spastic, which the police, or Glasgow police, because I've seen one of Dan's videos, it's a hate crime. The property management are in on it. The police are in on it. It's corruption. It's dangerous. People's lives, vulnerable people's lives, have been put in danger in council accommodation. And that's what the MP office admitted to me and my lady witness Juliet.
It's constant, and you're trying to, excuse me, but I've been accused of ringing 101 too many times. Okay?
Yeah. I've been accused of ringing 101 too many times. So this is at 2:11 in the morning.
I can't be ringing 101 all the time. If I'm I'm being harassed all the time. This is part of the investigation, and my partner has urged me that any more 101 call handlers become belligerent with me and hang up on me to keep making complaints.
Now, I've just said to the call handler that my partner has said to keep making complaints about 101 call handlers hanging up. How do I not know then if my partner is part of this? How do I not know, DC Camar? Because if you've got an investigation into his previous history, and my local MP suggested he'd take a caring role through Care for the Carers, and then he's using the police to abuse me because I disagreed in his flat, he pushed me. It takes a few years, or they go and lob themselves off Beachy Head. Statistically, most women who kill themselves, it will be because of domestic abuse. But where's my partner been in all of this? Where are his parents? I didn't even get a happy 40th while I was self-funding these hotels. So my partner told me to keep making complaints to 101. Why were they endlessly hanging up? Domestic abuse. He's been released with a caution. I don't know what to do anymore.
Who are not taking this seriously. I've got an investigating officer to do with what I've got ongoing. Let them know that you've called this evening and what you've told me. You need to put this down. They can have the conversation. No, to begin with, you said that you weren't. I record my call. No, I didn't. No, what I said, I'm making a report this call, but what I'm disagreeing with you is that this was harassment. That's what I'm disagreeing with you.
She's basically just talking bollocks. Excuse my French. Sorry for swearing, but it's in plain English. You know, we've had these swear words for thousands, hundreds of years at best. I'm going to use them. It's not harassment. Wait till I'm going to play you in an hour. What happened an hour after this at 3:11 in the morning. It's not harassment. So just bear in mind what she's just said. Remember that. She's just said it's not harassment. Remember that. Just remember that. It's not harassment. That's what the 101 call handler has said. It's 2:11 in the morning. She's been banging on my door. You got a drunk coming into my room. It's not harassment. And yet, because I ask these people if they have children, they say I'm making malicious phone calls just because I ask them if they have children. You think I got it bad? Their children and their children's children's children, think how bad they're going to have it. They're not even going to have a home. They're going to be dying on the streets. And they're your children. They're your children's children's children. My grandma.
I haven't recorded it. I'm just disagreeing with our assessment is different, the situation. That's what we're disagreeing about. Doesn't mean I haven't written it down, I haven't made notes of it. I can give you a reference number of our call.
Oh, reference numbers, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I tell you what, my mother would expect me to have done some serious damage by now because of doing this to someone that's decent.
I've written everything down so you know the calls are recorded.
I'll just fast forward it.
Crime waiting, investigate an individual, and then find one incident in there. No, that's right. Yeah, Case number, precious. Reporting herself. Didn't get goodness me previously in my own home. Me with Ellis even handler, but harass a man, even if it's love.
I'm just going to fast forward it.
Right, police did selling my call has been it's all me. This with me. He was saying I had been a victim. Sorry, were you the person that I was speaking to the last time or the time before? The second time you spoke to me. Right, okay. And I was the first person who spoke to on 101. And my understanding is that my colleague spoke to you and you agreed the way forward with her. Yeah, cut out again. Yeah, so that's fine. So everything, so she's going to forward the information to the officer in charge.
I'll forward everything to the officer in charge.
It's just a number from it. Yeah. No, it might be because this is. And I can do this. So I'm not sure. Thank you, because my life has been destroyed by all the police brutality that I have had. Yeah, no, that's all right. Thank you very much for explaining that to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Right, so she didn't terminate the call, but that was about 45 odd minutes. That was 2:11 in the morning on the 29th of April 2021. Right. An hour later, at 3:11 in the morning on the 29th of April, this is what I was subjected to. Remember what I said? Remember what you heard? She said it's not harassment. That's at 2:11 in the morning when I've just been complaining that this nutcase in front of the CCTV, a man tried to come into my room. A drunk, half-naked man tried to come into my room in front of the CCTV that was right outside my room. She said it's not harassment. And this is the recording at 3:11 a.m., an hour later, of this dangerous criminal on a tag that I've just reported to 101, the police, and they're saying it's not harassment. And I'm terrified. Listen to this.
Because I'll swear that I will come up there and I'll put you senseless. You little bitch. I'll put your door in. Brian, I'm not fucking joking. Please.
I won't play the rest of that because I've played it in another live stream. But basically, the 999 call handler has said that he can hear her bang on the door. She then goes on to bang the bathroom door, and it's in that recording. That's a 999 call at 3:11 in the morning. And what I played you prior to that was at 2:11 in the morning, a 101 call handler, a 45-minute 101 call. And what happened after that 999 call at 3:11 a.m. in the morning with me trembling in my dressing gown and slippers and pajamas, sleep deprived, hadn't had my bath. I'll tell you what happened. The investigating officer for this police protected criminal on a tag, and I've got recording of the people who put her on a tag, and they're shocked, the company who put her on a tag. PC Scott Franklin Lester, who's known to be a bully in Eastbourne, he patrols the town. The manager of Poundland told me this. He bullies homeless, vulnerable people. He turned up not to investigate this. Oh no, I've got a warrant for your arrest. Showing me his phone. That's not a warrant. That is not a warrant. A warrant has to have an embossed red stamp on it, stamped. Under common law, I have to have received a carbon copy, a paperwork copy for a warrant for my arrest. No, he just showed me his phone. They kidnapped me. It was a kidnap. He started grabbing me. I was terrified. I was shaking. It was a fraud. It was over a Beachy Head welfare check. Because the solicitor that I reported to the legal ombudsman could not understand how a welfare check could end up with me being convicted of beating the police. When they beat me, they threw me against the police car. They stripped me naked. They took me on a Section 136. Your freedom's taken from you and you're not doing anything about it. You're just going along with it. Your human and civil rights and civil liberties. It was during an orchestrated welfare check on Beachy Head. I had just had my 101 call terminated, which they've continued to do if you look at my most recent live streams, despite having a letter of apology from the professional before trafficking me onto that very dangerous property. Well done! Well done! You're so proud of yourselves, aren't you? Oh my gosh, I can't believe these people have got children, let alone some of them have got grandchildren. My God. Do you know what? I didn't want to be a parent unless I could do the things my mother did. I'm 40. My beautiful grandmother lived through 2 world wars. She would be, how old would she be now? 118. She adopted my mother, people. And by golly, if I do jump off those cliffs, because I've been up there like this, you lot have already got my blood on you, and I will keep saying it. You've got my blood on your hands, and no one is being held accountable because no one is taking responsibility for themselves. But rather ironically, a senior psychologist, I bet, take responsibility for ourselves when we're sitting with grown adults at St Mary's House who are chewing on a pen, so that the cartridge fell out on the floor, and then he's chewing the cartridge. Oh, well, I can't really help you. These are grown adults. But I suppose if I'd had a sex change like my middle sister, and I worked for the people who've done this to me, Southdown Housing Association at St Mary's House, if I too had had a sex change, then I would be buying into their, was it Agenda 20? What is that satanic agenda? Agenda 21? Which one is it? The LGBT thing? I don't know. I had a locum tell me that me and my middle sister, who's had a sex change to a man, that we need trauma-based therapy. But because I've gone the right way, I haven't had a sex change to a man. My middle sister has. She did care work. She works for the very people who I was dragged into St Mary's House over. She cared for people with severe disabilities. I don't know what the, when people have got mental handicaps, I don't know what the PC word is, but I too did care work. And the worst abuse I've ever had has been by those paid to protect me. I was bullied when I did care work with the elderly. I was bullied by the staff and the residents, including some old hag in the scullery. And yeah, brave briny battles on, too bloody right. So what is DC Camar going to do? Nothing. He said, do you have friends or family? No. That's what I needed help with my sisters. No. My partner can't talk to, my partner's got stuff of mine in his flat. This is the second time my partner has been arrested for abuse. If this is all by design, people, listen to me. Caroline Ansell, MP, didn't want to meet me even though I'm a constituent. Why? Because people who suffer with mental health are dangerous. You couldn't make it up. So what about the psychopaths that work in the psychiatric unit? Or the psychopaths, thugs, our UK police? Some of our UK police are wife beaters, paedophiles, I don't know, whatever else that Crime Bodge and Dan have talked about. That's the reality I'm living in. Do I want to carry on living? No, I don't think so. And I'll finish it at that. More to the point, I'm physically unable to. I'm just running on adrenaline right now.